Hi, I'm Jenny Spinner, Chief Editor of Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery, and I'm here with.
Liz Parker Kuhn, Senior Editor, Candy Industry and Snack Food and Wholesale Bakery.
Yay, congratulations. Liz just got married. We are here a little bit late in the month because we had some technical difficulties. Life got in the way, but here we are talking about the new product highlights for the month of August 2024. And this isn't necessarily a review podcast or a video. This is us as snack and bakery industry journalists talking about the products that struck us as particularly innovative, interesting, on trend. Sometimes a little fun, sometimes the weird ones make it in here. But this is a good batch this month, so let us get to it. Liz, why don't you start us off?
Sure. This month we're starting off with Bell's Cookies, chocolate tahini flavor. So this was interesting because you don't see tahini much in baked goods, or at least not in American baked goods. It's big in the Middle East, places like that. So they sent me samples of these, and it was actually very good. I believe tahini is some sort of like sesame paste.
Yes, tahini is sesame paste, and it is tahini had a big surge a couple of years ago before it was added to the list of allergens. Um, and you're seeing it used in things in lieu of peanut because it has tahini is a paste, has a similar texture, similar flavor to peanut butter. So it makes sense that it would be used in places that peanut butter typically is. It's used in Middle Eastern sauces. But seeing it in more sweet stuff, there is a tahini ice cream at Jenni's, Splendid ice creams, which I'm a fan, and it has again that same like smooth, nutty flavor. So Bell's Cookies, they have a lot of fun with their flavors. I suggest you check that out. And this one I haven't put in my face, but as a consumer seeing tahini, ooh, that sounds intriguing. So I think adventurous consumers might be responding to that. My first thing is Better Made kettle chips. Better Made is Liz's part of the world. You're more likely to see Better Made on shelves because it's a local favorite. They've been around for more than 9 decades. So, but just because they're nearing the century mark doesn't mean they still can't innovate. In conjunction with their 94th anniversary, they launched kettle chips. Um, if I had to choose between thin and chips, conventional chips, and kettle cooked with the crunchier, thicker texture, I think I'm a kettle girl. So well done, Better Made.
I'm the same. I much prefer kettle chips to thinner chips. Better made if you live in the Detroit area, like I do. Everyone knows that company. Like Jenny said, they've been around forever. So it's interesting to see that they're kind of still innovating. So for our next product, we both chose this, and it's actually two products. So Coca-Cola announced they would be partnering with Oreo, or I guess you could say Oreo announced they're also partnering with Coca-Cola because it's a twofer. You've got Coke flavored Oreos and Oreo flavored Coke, which is interesting. And I think Jenny has them to share.
Well, I'm not sharing with you because it's kind of hard to do via Zoom. But the people at Mondelez were nice enough because I'm an Oreo fan as a consumer, and so I get really excited when they have new stuff, and especially collabs. I'm a big fan of when two brands get together. And so they sent me. Oh,
Ooh,
um,
fancy
it,
packaging.
yeah, it is sharp packaging. Uh I will ask our multimedia editor Brett to put up a picture so you can get a better look of the Oreos, a different size, stack in the shape of the Coca-Cola signature bottle, signifying that the partnership is not just a flavor partnership. Let's open it. The Oreos are signature Oreo, Coca-Cola. You see that?
Yeah.
I will post a picture. You can see that. So it's a really thoughtful, integrated partnership on the cookie, which tastes exactly like Coke. The other component is Coca-Cola Oreo zero sugar. So it's you can get this in stores now. It's everywhere. It's Coke that tastes like Oreos. It's so much fun.
I have not tried either yet. I don't drink a ton of soda, so I'd be interested in trying the Coke flavored Oreos because I do like now and then I'll be like craving a Diet Coke, so I'll go get one. My husband, I almost said fiance, it's weird to say husband. My husband likes Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, so occasionally I'll steal a sip. But I think it's interesting that they like release this as a co-branded product. So you can have both, you can have one, you can choose your own adventure, etc.
Hmm. And I'm a big fan of the this isn't a mini can, it's a slim can.
Oh, yep.
So where's the ounces? That's weird.
Like 10 ounces maybe or 12 or something.
It's a 10-ounce can. When is America going to get on the metric system? So it is 250 milliliters, which is less than a conventional 12-ounce can, which is 355. So it's a little bit less. So if you're not a big soda drinker, ideal for you because it's a little bit less.
Yeah.
Liz has another product to talk about too.
Yep, my next one is more on the savory side. So Pringles came out with a Mexican street corn flavor, which is an interesting idea. I've been seeing Mexican street corn come up as a flavor like everywhere. I think I told you I was at SNX and there was a popcorn who used that flavor. I still haven't tried it. It's in my cabinet, but it sounded good. There's a local Detroit place that does like elote, which is Mexican street corn, and that's always good. So I imagine this would also be good.
Yeah, elotes are, if it's the complete authentic thing, it's well, corn, roasted corn, uh butter, lime, salt, mayonnaise, and cotija cheese, which is uh similar in texture to Parmesan cheese, but it doesn't have that sharpness. It's milder. So there's a lot of flavor, a lot of layers. Oh, chili pepper. Don't forget the chili pepper. There's a lot of flavors, layers and flavors and textures even. And again, it's interesting when a company like Kellanova gets flavors and textures right. So it was quite a challenge to get all of those notes on one single salty parabola that is a Pringle crisp. So again, it's really interesting to see what our readers can do when they're challenged with something that's a novel taste that's complex and they hit it. So with elotes being on trend, it'll be interesting to see how this particular Pringles flavor resonates. Another collab, because I'm a fan, and I'm a fan of meat sticks. Vermont, Smoke and Cure has come out with a collaboration with a distillery called Whistle Pig, which is fun. And these are Whistle Pig maple whiskey flavored meat sticks. That is, people are having fun with jerky the last couple years. The days in which you got salty, maybe teriyaki, are gone. And there's a couple of fun collaborations. This is on the higher upscale end because Whiskey Pig is a pretty decent spirits brand. You can also see ones that are more like, middle of the road. Jack Links and the chili cheese Fritos, that's a fun one. This one is like I'm a fan of when meat is not just like savory. This has got a little bit of a sweet note to it. And again, it's interesting to see when brands who aren't, both under like the Frito-Lay's umbrella get together and believe in each other enough to say, hey, I'd like my product and your product to get married, like Liz just did.
I was speaking of that, I was at the grocery store a couple weeks ago, Meyer, and I saw Whistle Pig and I said, "Oh, that's the meat snack company." So obviously it's an alcohol company, not meat snack, but it'll be interesting that they'll kind of be known to each other.
Yeah.
Speaking of Frito-Lay, our next product is Frito-Lay International Lays. I put these out at a party a while ago and no one took them, not because they're not good, but because I kind of hid them in the back because I wanted to try them. Because one of them is honey butter, which is one of my favorite chip flavors, and the others are masala, which I've only had once in chip form, also at SNX, and tzatziki. And since then, I've broken open the tzatziki, and it definitely tastes like that flavor. So you might like it or you might not like it, but it definitely tastes like that flavor.
Yeah, it's I am one of those people that I will go to big Asian markets like H Mart, um There's Jongbu, I think that is Midwestern, maybe Illinois only, but Korean markets and other Asian markets that have the varieties of chips, Lay's and other brands that don't make it to the States unless they're imported. So I've had Korean honey butter chips before. I'm a fan. I was really excited. If anybody from Kroger is listening, I was really excited when they had a private label limited time masala potato chip like this, and it had that same complex blend of sweet and savory spices that you get in Indian food, and it worked really well. And of course, limited time means it might not be there when you go back to the store, so it was gone. This is another limited time thing. Rounding out is tzatziki, which is a yogurt, cucumber, garlicky sauce. They approached it, they kind of like dabbled with it, one of their regional flavors. I don't remember how long ago it was, but they had a gyros chip and it was tzatziki. It's the same thing. Um, but yeah, it's interesting because at one point in time there were no flavored potato chips, and then barbecue, and then hot, and then sour cream and onion. And I would like to see more flavors be added to that evergreen permanent rotation that are outside of that core chip flavor that we've had. I love adventures.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I've noticed Meyer, they're pretty good with their private label chips. One time they had like summer sausage flavor, and I don't think they've honey butter, oddly enough, is one flavor that American companies don't tend to like go into, I've noticed, because I love ones and there's another one, I believe, but kind of interesting. Anyways, our next product is more on the sweet side. Well, you could say it's the sweet and the sour side because it's Cinnabon Warheads topped buns. So I think I was first introduced to Warheads in like elementary school because they've been around a while, but I feel like they've almost had like a reconnaissance. Is that the right word? No, that's not the right word.
Renaissance.
Renaissance. There we go. I'm tired today. Renaissance lately because they've been, new flavors. I remember seeing like a pickle flavored warhead. So Cinnabon is now topping these buns with warheads. So I imagine that would appeal to like millennials or Gen Z or people who like flavor mashups.
Yeah, I'm Gen X and we had sour stuff like sweet tarts. And if you had sweet tarts, they're really not that sour. The first time I went to sweets and snacks and had some of the extra sour warheads, I was like, oh no, this is not for me. I do like a little bit of a sour adventure. And I am having every once in a while I'm having a warhead and I was like, oh, this is great. And then I can't finish it. I'm a wuss. But a little bit of sprinkling of the cinnamon warhead, adding a little bit of that crunchy, sugary texture that the warheads have. I'm picturing. I don't know where the nearest Cinnabon is. This will give me an excuse to go out for lunch after this and like explore maybe. Yeah, I don't think the tiny little mall by me doesn't have a Cinnabon. They have an Auntie Anne's, another bakery chain, but yeah, I'd like to try this because I will every once in a while dabble into warhead territory. I'll have one at Sweets and Snacks or the nuclear waste. Those guys, they're super fun. One time I was at a beer fest. It's a Firkin Fest where breweries take tiny little casks of their beer and they age it or they infuse it with something. And one oh gosh, I wish I remembered what brewery, but they infused a lighter beer like a saison with warheads. And I will have the occasional warhead. I'm not a big fan of sour beers, but somehow just like the little sweet playfulness worked really well. So if it worked for beer, it's got a good chance of working with Cinnabon, I guess. Maybe. Who knows? Oh, another one. Liz and I had a lot of overlap this time. So again, promos happen on packages. Sometimes it's you like here's a superhero movie that'll just like simply put the superhero on the box bag or pouch or whatever like that. This is a partnership between Keebler, Ferrero brand, and the movie that's out in theaters, Beetlejuice. And the cookie is just like there's stuff on the packaging. But the cookie itself is like the black and white stripes that you associate with Beetlejuice, his signature blazer. Oh, I said Beetlejuice 3 times. He's gonna
Thank
pop
you.
up during our Zoom meeting. But it's just fun. Again, when you're going to have a brand a promo or a collaboration, when it's thoughtful, I think that as a consumer, I resonate with that. I'm more likely to reach for it when it's not just a label on a package. So it's a lot of fun. Thanks for having fun with it, Ferrero.
Hmm. I think they also changed the cookie colors, right? Because it's like black and white striped for the movie,
Yeah,
and I
it's like
think
a chocolate
it's
cookie. I haven't picked any up because I'm trying not to eat so much sugar and I get so much free stuff in my house. I don't need to buy cookies. No brags, everybody. But yeah, it looks like a chocolate cookie with white chocolate stripes.
yeah. Should be interesting. And then the next one is a tahine explosion. I will say that right this time. Because in my head, I always pronounce it tajin, which is especially sad because I took Spanish for like 8 years. It's really bad. But tahine, GH Creators popcorn with tahine at Costco, but also Tillamook Country Smoker tahine flavored beef jerky. So consumers have been looking for more of that like sweet, spicy thing. I hate saying spicy, but there you go.
Yeah.
So this is another play on that. So you can either choose popcorn or beef jerky, whatever you like.
Yeah, and these are not the only two collabs where tahine is been used to flavor a thing. Uh Snack Club has peach gummy rings that are flavored with tahine, and that is a fun collaboration. Um I am lucky enough to live in Chicago, and there are Mexican candy places and booths where you could get gummy candy that is not just sprinkled with tahine, that is doused in chamoy sauce, which is like it's a combination of hot sauce, like sweet tamarind, I think is the is in there, and chili powder. And you'll order your candy and they'll just like drown it in that sauce, and you could either eat it there and overload on sugar, or you could take it home and it is super good. The Tillamook jerky with tahine is well, Tillamook is a really good brand. As a meat jerky fan, sorry to editorialize, but Vermont Smoke and Cure and Tillamook both don't mess. The texture is really good, and the flavor was definitely not just generic spice. It had that sweet spicy little lime note, lime powder in there, and it works really well. So people who are a fan of the spice blend and are looking for something spicy, that's a good thing. There's another tahini thing that landed recently, a nut brand. I'm gonna have to look it up and come back later maybe. But yeah, there's so many tahini things. It's interesting to see that brand explode. We have one more thing. I am a sucker for special effects in food. If you add Pop Rocks to your ice cream or your cookies, I am there because I'm eating it and this food is biting back. It's crazy. So the people at Betty Crocker came up with again another movie tie-in, another thoughtful movie tie-in. The movie Wicked. Fans of musical theater are going to know that that is coming out soon. They came up with a Wicked Bake Mix that changes color when you're preparing it. So you don't know until you break into the mix and prepare it to bake these cupcakes if you're going to be pink, Glinda pink for good, or Elphaba green for wicked. Now, I'm not going to spoil the musical, but there's no clear cut bad good. But it's kind of like if you're more of a girly girl or more of like a tough girl rather than good and bad. But anyway, the fact that the bake mix changes color and you won't know what you got until you put it together is really cool. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that before. I know a lot of companies experiment like with colors and things like that, but and I don't do a ton of baking, I'll admit. I'm more of like a main entree, savory girl type of cook. But I think that is really cool, and it'll be interesting to see if other companies follow suit and do something similar.
Yeah, I would like to trying to get in touch with the General Mills people to see if I can't talk to the people to tell me how they did it. Because it seems like this might be the kind of thing. Oh, if you were a child of the 80s and 90s, there used to be this color changing technology, line of clothes, whose name escapes me. But once they came out with the technology, other people were like, "Ooh, I want to do that." And all of a sudden, color changing clothes were everywhere. So they changed according to your body temperature, which sounds really cool until your clothes are telling you the world that you're really nervous because you get like color here. So yeah, let's leave the color changing technology to Betty Crocker, and any other baking company that picks up on this really neat technology. I think we're out of time, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Keep those products coming though. It's been a really interesting summer in terms of things that are on trend, fun. But it's always fun to cover snack and bakery. You can send to me at spinnerj@bnpmedia.com any new snack and bakery products that you got and you want to talk about. I'd love to hear about it.
Yep. And you can email me as well. My email address will be changing, but you can always email me at parkere@bnpmedia.com and the internet gods will somehow get it to me.
I still don't know how email works.
No.
It's magic. But yeah, through the magic of email, send us your stuff. Until next time, this is Jenny Spinner signing off with Liz Parker Kuhn also signing off. Goodbye.
Yep. See you later.